with a 25-year limited warranty. Not sure where to start? IKEA's expert kitchen planners are here to guide you every step of the way. Your dream kitchen is closer than you think. So visit IKEA Oak Creek or IKEA.us today.
An accident, 43 northbound, right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. The right lane is blocked right now. We got emergency crews on the scene, fire truck there. So a little bit of a distraction as you're making your way down through there. Southbound 4394 does also have a crash off on the right shoulder. This is just before you get to the KK River crossing. It is like just past Chase Avenue. So careful with that. Give it a little extra room there. We've also got a broken down vehicle northbound 41 right at the ramp from North Avenue in that construction zone. It's going to be slow from Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 storm team forecast today. Early sprinkles, then becoming partly cloudy, a high of 47 at the lake, 53 inland tonight. Mostly clear, a low of 35. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Wisconsin basketball head coach Greg Gard. This is 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD2, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Shoot. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
No Chewy, no Joshy today. Will the thrill behind the glass here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I got to be honest, when I open my mouth to talk into the microphone, I never know what it's going to sound like right now. The allergies, the sinuses, it's awful. I finally brought in a bag of cough drops just in case. I've been coughing every day. I missed it the other day when I tried to hit the mic, and then I was like...
Tried to turn off the mic instead, or turn it off instead, just cough directly into it.
Hacking into the microphone. That's hygienic. So no Chew, no Joshy, but we do have Will, and we do have the Masters. Oh my goodness, the Masters. Gabe,
what do we got over here?
What do you got over
we
there?
We got food. We got treats today, Jen, because every year since 2020, the Masters, they did skip one in there. I don't know why. But every year since, and it started with the pandemic because they thought no fans at the Masters, so they wanted to bring the Masters experience to fans. So you could order food that is traditionally offered at the Masters, and they would send it to your house so you can enjoy the Masters in 2020 when it was played in the month of November. So most years since then, they have offered it. It's obviously expanded. And every year I order it. And I've gotten so much food. It's now part of the Masters party that I will be throwing tomorrow. But it arrived at the house yesterday. So I do have food here to pass out. So I do have one of each. It comes with egg salad, comes with pimento cheese, and it also comes with the barbecue pork. So I've got all of that. Of course, I've got your own Masters cup that you can take home with you there, Jen.
Yes.
Masters 2026.
Well, also, you don't want me using the cup and then asking someone else to use the cup on the off chance that this is not allergies.
I also get 25 of them. I don't know why they send that many, but they do. So we end up passing them out. So do you have, I will give you first pick in this draft, Jen, of which you would want, the pimento cheese, the egg salad, or the barbecue pork.
I can't decide.
What do you mean you can't decide?
They all sound fantastic. I don't want to have to pick.
You also get your own, they sent bingo cards with it this year, so you get a bingo card.
What's on the bingo
Is it like
card?
for watching the Masters?
Yes.
Like somebody hits
as
it
you're
in the
watching
water?
along, yes.
Okay, here we go. We got Eagle. We got Augusta National Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Azaleas.
Sure.
A tradition unlike any other.
So that's Jim Nance's famous line.
Roars celebrating a great shot. Okay, did all of these happen yesterday?
Yes. If you were watching yesterday, Eagle, highlight from past Masters, 90th Masters,
So I saw the umbrellas, the green and white umbrellas.
If you're watching, you should be able to knock
I saw
these
Amen
out.
Corner. A birdie on a par 3. Did we see a birdie on a par 3?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who was it who threw it? So I've started to figure out the strategy on that par 3 hole. What is it, 12? What's the hole?
So 12 is one of the par 3s, yes.
You got to go straight up. up, and then it sits,
Loft.
right? Because everybody who is not getting up was rolling into the trees on the back left, rolling off the green.
Sure.
But the guys who went way up in the air, then it would sit right, near the hole. That's the strategy. Again, I'm a golfer now, so I know these things. I do feel like you might have been able to fill out this bingo card yesterday, but this would make it fun. And today, while I'm watching, I will certainly be keeping an eye on the bingo card. I thought it was fantastic. I thought yesterday the action was good. I watched the Rory DeChambeau pairings. As you guys know, the guy that I did the story on, Mason Howell, the amateur, was with Rory. So it was nice to be able to watch him. And I thought, look, for a kid who's making his debut in the Masters, I thought he handled the pressure so well.
Well, and the crazy part about somebody like Mason Howell, because there's a tradition of amateurs at the Masters, which is why all these amateurs, if you win the US Am, finish second, if you win the amateur over in the UK, there's so many amateur invites that they give. But usually somebody who wins the US Am is a college kid. Not someone who is going to be, a freshman in the fall. Like, this kid is still a senior in high school, and he is playing at Augusta.
I'll give you one step further. He's going to finish the Masters, and then next week, he's going to compete for the Georgia State title. Did you just call?
It seems unfair.
You're in the middle of a drink, and you were like, "Yeah." So he's gonna make his Masters debut, and then at the end of April, he's gonna compete in the Georgia High School State Tournament, which he won last year, by the way.
Which, yeah, of course he won that. Oh, really? That's a shocking.
There's somebody
shocking
better than
development.
him.
Like, how do you feel if you're another kid in that field? Like,
It's like
I guess a decent way to warm up for the Georgia State High School tournament is playing Augusta.
It's probably how everyone felt playing Derrick Henry in high school football. Where that season he just had an incredible amount of yardage and touchdowns.
Point.
Where it's like get done with calculus and then you just get ran over by Derrick Henry.
Just a tough day.
Great calculus.
Tough day.
So one of the storylines that I saw emerging as the day went on was the people who were paying very close attention to how the tour guys did versus how the live guys did. And you and I were talking about this a little bit before the show. There is a pretty big discrepancy, both in talent and in events and in courses. So these live guys have now gotten out there, and I'll use DeChambeau, and it could have been an isolated incident with him, but he seemed to really be struggling out there yesterday, and some people were pointing to, well, yeah, he hasn't had adequate warm-up tournaments, essentially, to get ready for this level of competition. Do you buy that, Gabe?
Yeah, I mean, that's when Liv initially started. That was something that was kind of talked about because at least with the PGA Tour, you can kind of set the schedule however you want. Now, somebody like Rory hasn't played since the Players. He withdrew from the Players because he had a little bit of a back injury. So he wanted to take it easy, make sure he was ready to go. But for Liv, I mean, you played in February a couple of times, March a couple of times, and so the last time you had a chance to play was in South Africa on March 22nd, which Bryson did, and he won that event. But they've only played 5 events since the beginning of the year to now, and you don't have that opportunity on Liv to kind of set your own schedule, go where you want, or, again, because they were in South Africa, now you got to travel all the way back to the United States. Yeah, it was a few weeks ago, but it's tough when you're not playing the best, and certainly the top of the fields are good there, but the bottom is not, the depth of field is not there on Liv. That's always kind of been the concern about Liv versus PGA Tour and how it gets you ready for the majors, and I think it's contributed to over the years. Yeah, Bryson's won one. Brooks won one, but when he was a part of Liv, they haven't really been able to rack up those major championship victories as a tour.
So one day in, obviously, and we know what the leaderboard looks like. Rory is up there as well. Who do you like? A lot of people on the broadcast were talking about how Xander Schauffele was somebody that people were eyeing up headed into the Masters tournament. Who's the guy that you think, after what you saw yesterday, you feel like could have a really good Friday and a really good weekend?
So it's really interesting right now because all of the low scores that you saw from like Sam Burns, Rory McIlroy, Jason Day, Patrick Reed, came earlier in the day. As the day went on, the course got harder. So some of those players in the back part of the field, guys like Scotty Scheffler, at 2 under, I'm really curious to see what happens at the end of today because they flip Like if you played later in the day yesterday, you're playing early today and vice versa. So I'm curious to see what that looks like at the end of the day because the course is just getting firmer as the day goes along, making it just more difficult to kind of land, even if you take Jen's approach of just shooting it up to the sky and landing it on the green. It's just getting tough to hold those greens and get the ball to stay close to the hole.
So is there somebody that you like? Who'd you pick going?
I picked going in, I picked Xander, but I didn't know Rory was going to go out in 5 under. I mean, it's hard not to be impressed with because he didn't even play that well for the front nine.
Right.
He didn't play that great. And suddenly he just found something, turned it on, and he's tied for the lead going into today. But now he's going to have to play the tougher. So if he can shoot 70 or better today, I think Rory's going to be the favorite going into the weekend.
I got to be honest, I was captivated. I was folding clothes. I was trying to get some stuff done around the house, but I had the Masters on yesterday, and I ended up watching for hours. Just hours upon hours of watching golf. It was so freaking peaceful. And now I understand why you and your comrades will sit there and watch golf all weekend long. I do think it helps to be invested in somebody, right? So for me, I was invested in Mason Howell, the amateur. Sure. He happened to be paired with Rory, so I was able to watch their pairing. And then, of course, like I mentioned, DeChambeau was the other one that they were following. I think they were just one hole apart.
You're gonna have to pick a couple of guys because I don't think they're Mason's definitely not going to be around for the weekend.
No,
I doubt Bryson. Bryson is going to have to shoot a low number to end up making that cut after shooting 76.
Well, when he got stuck in the bunker. And then got stuck in the bunker again on the same hole.
And then got stuck in the bunker again.
Well, it was a very, Okay, so are you talking about the same hole? Because he was stuck twice and then three times?
He had to hit out of that bunker 3 times.
And even when he finally hit it out, I was like, that wasn't even that great. So, yes, he had a tough day. But I'm in. I'm all in. I don't know who I want to win, but I'm enjoying the... I wouldn't call it an introduction. I'm obviously familiar with golf, but being invested. There you go. Just as opposed to just casually going in and out and sort of being
aware of its existence.
Yeah. Now I'm invested in the Masters. 800-990-3776. Gabe has brought us snacks from the Masters. What do you think I should have?
Pimento is the classic one. I don't know how you feel about. I know the big guy has made a clip. He asks every year what a pimento is, and I have to explain it to him
every year.
So I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know if you heard the story. I think it was from Pardon My Take. So I saw Big Cat reading this. So somebody had reached out to them and sent an email of years ago. This guy, his dad and a buddy went to the Masters, and they were walking around, not a big deal, and they get hungry, so they go to the food stand, and this guy's dad goes, "Hey, you got to have a pimento cheese sandwich. That's the thing here." This guy said, "Yeah, absolutely." And after they get back to the hotel, the guy gets violently ill to the point where they had to take him to the hospital. And eventually he's fine. The guy was allergic to pimentos. Knew it was a pimento cheese sandwich, and because it was the thing to do at the Masters, decided, yep, I'm going to eat it anyway.
Wait, how do you find out that you're allergic to pimentos?
I don't know. Same way you figure out if you're allergic to anything else.
But you're eating pimentos so infrequently. That'd be my thing. What if you've literally never had a pimento before? How would you know that you're allergic to them?
I've never had one, so I was just thinking, what if I'm allergic and then I become violently ill?
I'm guessing it's a pepper thing.
Yeah.
If you're allergic to one sort of pepper, it's kind of in that family. You'd be allergic to all of them.
That makes sense.
That would be my guess. I'm not a doctor. Chewy's not here today, so I don't know.
I think I'm going to go with the pimento cheese.
My suggestion to you would be the pimento cheese.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with the pimento cheese. Gabe, nice enough to bring us some fare, some food from the Masters. And they send this to you, right? They send it in a box. You can order it and cater.
So arrived yesterday, so it comes with, tubs of the barbecue pork. You got to get your own bread. So that's the thing. So it's got to get the barbecue pork, the egg salad, the pimento cheese. They send you some chips, some Georgia caramel with pecan, little mix, a couple of chocolate chip cookies, some coasters this year, the bingo cards, and then, 25 cups. Will, do you want the egg salad or do you want the barbecue pork?
I think I got to go with the egg salad,
All right. Got the egg salad here for you, pal.
What a day for Josh to be off. He's missing out.
Spoiler alert, Josh will have his opportunity tomorrow.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
That makes sense. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to this morning here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, all warmed up, all stretched out. We've got Jason Wilde coming up. We have Jeff Levering, who's going to talk about the Brewers as they kick off another series here. Who are they playing?
They have the Nationals.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And we're going to talk to Crick Karmazin this morning. And a lot of little things that happened over the last 24 hours or so. Are you like me? Did you think that the Bucks were going to give Giannis the green light to play last night? We'll discuss that as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on. Stick around.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Yeah, we've got some delays with some accidents out there. Northbound 43 at Fond du Lac Avenue. We have the right lane blocked because of a crash. It's going to be tightening up through that area. We've also got a disabled vehicle on 41 northbound at North Avenue off on the right shoulder. Now, we are seeing delays from before that, from Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh. Another crash on southbound 4394. This is just past Chase Avenue. Looks like the right lane is partially blocked, so watch out for that. It's going to be a little bit on the tight side heading through that area. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early sprinkles, then becoming partly cloudy, a high of 47 at the lake, 53 inland tonight. Mostly clear, a low of 35. Weather's brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof siding and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, your clean water partner, serving Greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
1896, Horicon Bank first opened its doors. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old.
We've maintained our roots over the years and yet expanded.
We empower our people to invest in the community. We give them 40 hours of volunteer time.
We're doing it with a personal touch, with a desire to say yes to our customers.
You shouldn't have to work with a bank that sends their profits to New York City or Toronto. You can keep your money here and it benefits Wisconsin.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Calidora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Excuse me. Hold on. Getting choked up over it. So, Hold on. Give me a moment.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Ready, down. Put.
All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project? Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Visit extpros.com.
We love getting insight and the lowdown from our friend and teammate Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason. How are you doing today?
I'm great, everybody. How are you?
I'm a little under the weather.
I'm fantastic.
Yeah, Gabe is fantastic. It's Masters
You sound
week.
under the weather.
Yeah, I got a little like a sinus thing happening. So what are you going to do? We move on.
Take
Jason,
some sort of over-the-counter medication. That's what you're going to do.
I've taken all of it. The Sudafed, the Mucinex. I got an antibiotic from a previous illness that I was like, well, why not? Let's just toss one of those back too, because you never know.
Wow, Dr. Jen.
I know. The chemist over here just mixing medicines. Let me ask you this, Jason. It does seem like the general sentiment is that the Packers are going to prioritize cornerback in the upcoming draft. Are you on board with that philosophy?
Sure. That's what I thought they were going to do last year.
Ooh.
And they didn't, right? So this is why, and look, the best player available thing is such a fallacy, right? You can say that you're going to do that, and maybe that's my favorite Ted Thompson moment, and I know I've told this story before, but not everyone listens every day, was many years ago. He was doing his pre-draft press conference, which was always interesting to see who like the new people were covering the team, because they would ask questions like, what do you see as your biggest position of need? Which, of course, those of us that have been around Ted knew that he was never going to answer that question, right? I mean, his mentality as a former player was always that he was not going to, basically put down anybody at any position by saying, yeah, our cornerback group, we definitely need to add more there. We need, we need a number one corner, whatever it might be. And then somehow, miraculously, like when they switched to the 3-4, they added a nose tackle and an edge rusher who were perfectly suited for. That's just how it worked out. It's his favorite phrase. It's just how it worked out. But 1 year before the draft, he was doing his press conference, and it was very frustrating to the TV and radio folks because the audio was terrible because of what he did. But I asked him, you talk about best player available all the time. How does need factor into the equation? And as you can tell, I'm very proud of this because getting Ted Thompson to deliver information was one of my favorite challenges to try and overcome. And he steps away from the podium in the media auditorium and goes back to the back wall that is behind the podium with the Packers logos and the Associated Bank logos. And he proceeds to explain what the draft board looks like in their room. That across the top, it has all of the positions from quarterback to long snapper at the end or whatever would be, the specialists that would be on the board. And then down the left side, there's rounds 1 through 7. So every player fit into one of those boxes. First round quarterback, here are the names. And then they would have the grades within each box for those players. So then if you got to the third round, you looked at your board and you saw, okay, there's this guy who we have a second round grade on, and he's still there. He doesn't play a position of need, but he is too good to pass up. We can't believe he's still there. And if you are in the third round and you've got nobody from the first 2 rounds still left on your board, and you look at the third round, and you've got similarly graded players at, like, say, 3 different spots, then the tiebreaker is, do we need someone at that position? And I just thought it was fascinating because everyone loves to say best player available. It's the biggest cliche of the draft industrial complex, but it's not always that. And Goody, if you're looking at where this team is, he's got a bunch of needs, and I'm very curious to see if he prioritizes corner, because the rest of us view that as a glaring, like, flashing, bright neon lights need that should be on his board.
Well, first of all, Jason, as he joins us on the Yingling guest hotline, as great as that story is, it's only my second favorite Ted Thompson moment. I'm sure you can guess what the first one is, because I'm assuming it's number 2 on your list.
Jason, I got Sizzle.
There you go. Which is just a great quote.
That was a good one, too. He and I had I swear, man, I know he was frustrating. Don't get me wrong. But I've told people in the building this before, too. Like, everyone thinks, oh, Goody's so much better. First of all, he's not available very often. Second of all, he says a lot more words than Ted did, but he just sort of talks in circles, and you never get any information on him either. He just presents it. It's
the
like
illusion
you can get
of
a burger.
information.
Right. You can get like a really beautiful burger that the restaurant puts together, or you can get the sloppy one that you put together off of your own grill. And I'm sorry, the sloppier one might even be better. And that's what I would argue. All right, sorry, go ahead. Ask your question.
So how do you balance you talking about need and that whole thing with Ted Thompson? Because there was a long article that came out on ESPN.com about your guy, John Schneider, out in Seattle, and how he thinks by actually going to best player available, he had gotten away from that, and that's why Seattle kind of had this lull, and now the reason why they won is because he ignored need, because he didn't need Jackson Smith and Jigba when he drafted him in the first round, but he was certainly the best player available, so he went and got them. How do you balance that from John Schneider versus because I agree with you, like the need and the ties, and there are just so many guys that are grouped together. How do you balance what? Again, I know you respect John. How do you balance those two ideas in your head?
Yeah, I love John, and I balance that as maybe he's right, and maybe Goody has been wrong. Like, again, when we talk about Ted, a lot of times he did. I mean, his first pick was the quarterback, right?
Yeah,
they definitely did not need a quarterback, and so. He was, when I look at where Ted was, now were there times later in his career after, we started to get the feeling that maybe he was dealing with some stuff cognitively and whatever else, where either he was, being swayed by people in the room or whatever it might be? Yeah, I do think that. But, I think, Schneider was influenced by Wolf, and he is of all those kind of guys that have ties to Wolf, he is the most Ron Wolf-like, right? Elliott did not work for his dad. Obviously, his dad influenced him in a huge way. But I would argue that what John Schneider's approach, I haven't read that piece. I need to do that because that I'm very interested in it now. What I think, how he views it, and I don't know if he talks about this, is if he admitted he got away from that best player available, I think he also is very aggressive in finding other ways to fill needs, so he's not drafting players based on need, right? I mean, he's much more aggressive with trades. He's much more aggressive with free agents or getting guys that have been released. Goody, again, and every time I criticize him, I have a small army of Goody supporters who get irritated with me. But, he loves to say we're going to be in every conversation. And certainly he was in the biggest of all conversations and actually got Micah Parsons, which was a brilliantly bold maneuver that Ted Thompson would have never made. But for all the times that we hear we want to be in every conversation, how many of those conversations have actually led to transactions, right? And again, sometimes the best transaction is to not acquiring Chase Claypool at the trade deadline. They were in that conversation, and it's better that they didn't make the move, right? So I just, there are a variety of ways to build a football team. And so far, Goody has built a bunch of good, but not Super Bowl traveling teams.
Jason, who do you think is eligible for a restructure that would help the Packers create some cap room?
Ooh, good question. Because we're creating cap room for Dexter Lawrence. Who are we creating cap room for?
Ooh, good question also. I don't think Dexter Lawrence. I think it's unlike Goody to sort of invest that much in the same position, meaning the defensive line. I think there are more pressing needs elsewhere. But it does feel like the Packers always sort of do, pull these levers just to give themselves more cap room in case something comes up.
Mm-hmm. So I think they're at $22 million in cap space the last time I looked.
That's what I saw.
Which put them 16th in the league, which I think is a fine place to be. Look, to me, we're at the point now where it's going to be draft picks, and that Goody is going to. I can say this till I'm blue in the face, and no one maybe listens, but I think he's going to trade back multiple times because I don't think he's going to have a 7-player draft class without a first-round pick. I just don't see that. He's never had a class that small before. But I think it's going to be draft picks and bargain basement, minimum salary guys in the bargain bin from free agency. And then it's going to be extending guys that he thinks are no-brainers. I don't know if he said he wants Christian Watson back. He thinks it would be good for both sides. But at the same time, is the most prudent thing to do to sign him maybe in like late October to an extension after you've seen him stay healthy for 6-7 games? Tucker Kraft coming off an ACL. They obviously want to do something with him. I think Tucker, kind of like he turned down opportunities to leave South Dakota State for more NIL money, strikes me as someone who definitely wants to be here. And I don't want to call it a hometown discount, but might take the security, especially after having an ACL injury, over trying to maximize his earning power. So I think the logical thing, and I haven't talked to Goody about this, but the logical thing would be to be using cap space for extending your own that you want to keep, as opposed to drafting and replacing. At the same time, I don't know who those players are that would be out there at this point in the game that would be worth marshaling your resources free salary cap wise to be able to get them if they become available.
Where are you expecting competition on this roster? Because I look at it, Jason, and it seems like other than corner, your starters are about set across the board. And obviously you need depth in different spots. But there are other positions like wide receiver. I mean, maybe they add a wide receiver in the draft just because they're going to have to backfill because who knows what happens with Watson, Reed, Wicks, all contracts coming up at the end of the year.
Yeah,
it kind of feels like, again, any competition is going to be more for backup spots other than cornerback too.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's why I have been, accused of being Chicken Little for suggesting that I have concerns about the roster. It's not because of their frontline 22 guys. It's not. I think they've got as good of a roster as anybody, especially when Micah Parsons is cleared to play and Tucker Kraft is cleared to play and Zach Tom is cleared to play, right? But that backfill point that you just made is a really good one. Like, we have not, they draft two of them again last year at wide receiver, which was the starting of the backfill process because they knew they were going to let Romeo Doubs walk. I don't think they ever were considering re-signing him. I remain steadfast, and someone pretty high in the food chain gave me this impression that they were just never going to get over the thing from October of 2024 when he no-showed for work. And he did a great job of playing through that and being a reliable player for them this past season. But, I just think that was we're going to let him play out his contract, and we'll take the compensatory pick from whatever happens in free agency. So now you got 3 more guys that are up. I personally, and you and I, we're not going to fight because, quite frankly, I need Mark/Keith Neitzel to help me with my electricity. but you and I disagree on Jaden Reed.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think that that's a guy that they should be working to re-sign. I really do. And I don't know if that's how they view it. Dontavion Wicks, he's coming off a year where he had career lows in snaps, targets, receptions, yards, and touchdowns. That strikes me as another guy that I know there's rumors about the Jets being interested in acquiring him. Maybe if they get a offer they can't refuse, they would do that, but more likely you use up his last year on a rookie contract, and then you replace him with a guy that you draft in this draft. The problem I have with the whole thing, and I've said this to you before, is that right now they don't have enough draft picks to backfill all the places that they need to backfill.
Yep.
And so I'm curious to see how they utilize those.
Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again very soon.
All right, everybody, take care. Be good.
Will D and Tausch is on right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Gabe?
If you've been putting off replacing your windows and doors, now is the time. Because Pella of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest financing all the way until 2030. That's right, 0% interest until 2030 in Wisconsin. Your home takes a beating year-round. You already know that because you live here. But the right windows and doors can improve comfort, boost energy efficiency, upgrade your home's look, which is all the things that happened when I got my new door late last fall from Pella of Wisconsin. Pella's experts help you find the perfect fit for your home and budget, which is also great. They come in, the different options they can give you and let you know how they would look on your house. You're going to love it. And with 0% interest until 2030, upgrade now, pay over time without paying a dime in interest. Don't wait. Visit PellaWI.com today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Good news, bad news. An earlier accident that happened on 43 at Fond du Lac Avenue has been cleared out of the way, so that's good news. Bad news, we still have the other one on southbound 4394 just past Chase. The right lane is blocked, so it is a bit of a bottleneck through there. We're seeing delays coming off the base of the high-rise bridge all the way down past the KK River crossing, so keep that in mind. Westbound 94 got packed in just past 27th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard and again past Hawley. On the eastbound side, got some delays right through the stadium to 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early sprinkles, then becoming partly cloudy, a high of 47 at the lake, 53 inland tonight. Mostly clear, a low of 35. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play over 2,000 courses, including that famous one with the green jackets. Book your bay at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Got your tax refund before it mysteriously disappears? Invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait. This offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
An uninspired cookie-cutter trade show booth is unlikely to move the needle.
Picture this. Lights, motion, energy, engagement. A space so bold it stops people mid-step.
That's what the award-winning team at Captivate Exhibits has been delivering for over 30 years.
From high-impact trade show exhibits to immersive lobbies, history walls, and culture-driven interiors, Captivate transforms ordinary square footage into unforgettable brand experiences.
Get started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
Take it home this April at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. $300,000 is on the line, and you're at bat to win your share. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your April drawing entries all count toward another prize drawing in June. It's the Base Race Game Show. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
Put Brewers weekends back on your schedule when the Crew take on the Nationals April 10th through the 12th. Collect a new Mish trading card bobblehead for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 11th, courtesy of Toyota. Then reserve Sunday for a full day of family fun. Kids can run the bases, get autographs, and the first 5,000 kids get a Brewers wiffle ball set, courtesy of Joy. Plus, it's a kids cheer free Sunday. Grab your seat at brewers.com/tickets.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
His eyeball.
Wait.
Where do I get him?
I just assumed when I said wait, did you just think it was just a suggestion?
Yeah, pretty much, typically.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you missed any of our conversation with Jason Wilde, you can, of course, always find it on the ESPN Wisconsin app. We're just plugging along here, Gabe. We're just going to keep plugging along till we get to 9 o'clock this morning.
Is there any chance when you get home later today, you can just convince your children it's nap time and everybody takes a nap?
Oh, that'd be awesome. We've really been doing a good job with the old. They're on spring break this week. Famously, my son was on spring break last week. My girls are on spring break this week. Very frustrating, very annoying, tough to plan things. So we just decided we were going to hang here. And we've been doing a good job of getting the girls out of the house and doing fun stuff and going to the pool and going to get our nails done, going to the pottery place, blah, blah, blah. But I was telling you, this is the week where I absolutely could have used them to be in school, because as soon as the show is done, I would be going to sleep to try to knock whatever this is that I'm dealing with out. Haven't been able to do that quite yet. So here we are. So I want to get into the Bucks thing very quickly because I know we're running out of time here in the first hour of the show and we got a lot of stuff to still get to. Okay, so you guys all saw the Shams Charania report earlier this week. It talked about a team-only meeting, a veterans-only meeting. It talked about Doc Rivers calling out some of the players. In particular, I think Miles Turner was called out as being, Doc was disappointed in him, et cetera, et cetera. Well, Doc Rivers is now entering the chat. Here's what Doc Rivers had to say about some of that report.
I don't want to tell you what we call Shams, but
and Shams folks is a reporter that has been fomenting a lot of speculation about Giannis for months.
Yeah, he's been wrong throughout. You know, he was positive he was going to get traded before the trade deadline. He wrote an article the other day about how dysfunctional everything was, and it's not. It's nowhere near the way he tried to portray this franchise and our team. He even wrote part of the article was about a meeting that was heated, and I'm thinking clearly this guy's not been around the NBA long. You lose a close game that you should have won, and you show film the next day. It's not going to be a rah-rah speech.
Right.
That's what goes on in locker rooms, and to make that look like that's something dysfunctional is it's almost unprofessional.
Will, where was that from?
Courtside with Gail Klappa, part of the Bucks Plus network.
If you want to hear the whole conversation, you can, of course, find it there on the Bucks Plus network. Gabe, your reaction to Doc Rivers basically saying that Shams' reporting was inaccurate.
Sure. And there have been times where I feel like Shams has used the wrong words throughout his reporting in this. And I think that's what's opened him up to criticism, certainly from the Bucks fan base. As far as some of the team meeting stuff goes, when Shams says he had 6 different people telling him what was going on in that team meeting, like, that seems pretty accurate. It seems like people wanted to talk about this and be like, hey, we want to get this out there. And there does seem to be a disconnect between Giannis and the Bucks, right? Like, that exists because Giannis wants to play. Bucks are telling him he can't. And to the point where Giannis complained loudly enough that the Bucks are getting investigated by the league, right? So there is a disconnect there. Like, whether it rises to the level of what was portrayed in the Shams article, I guess I don't know. But I mean, I understand there could be some things that are a little bit accurate, and maybe Doc's just trying to save face because there's a lot of not flattering stuff in there about him. But man, 6 different people talking to Shams about that team meeting. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
Well, and I don't love, honestly, when people who are in the sports space take shots at people like reporters, like the media, and make it appear as though, well, he's obviously never been around. I don't know how long he's been covering the league. Like, that to me feels unnecessary, right? We all know what Shams' resume is. We all know his tenure covering the NBA, etc. It doesn't seem like you need to take a pot shot at his resume or his credibility in that space. What I think we're both sort of circling around is we know that there is some level of dysfunction.
Yes.
And I'm a little surprised that when given the opportunity, Doc Rivers didn't say that. I mean, he has been on the record as saying this has not been a fun year. What was he referring to? Right? Oh, sorry, they didn't have cotton candy in the locker rooms this year. It hasn't been fun. No, he's referring to all of the drama, all of the speculation, the he said, she said, there's probably no she's, it's probably he said, if we're being honest. But the Giannis wanting to play, Giannis, being very vocal about wanting to play. To your point, there's an investigation. There have been reports and rumors of disagreement about who plays, the style of play for this Bucks team. That has been going on all season long. So to sit here and act like everything's great, everything is really good, and the reason that Shams thinks things aren't good is because he hasn't been around NBA basketball all that long. To me, that's insulting.
And I guess the other thing that I think of when I hear him talk, because there have been rumors about Doc's future, and it seems like the popular rumor out there right now is that Doc is no longer going to be the coach, but still somehow have an advisory role with the organization. So if he is still going to be around, I think he would probably want the organization that he is associated with and paying him try to help cool the flames of, hey, really dysfunctional over here. I think he wants to help try to protect the organization if he's still going to be working for them in some capacity. Because that's what it feels like to me, that the ownership clearly respects Doc. Doc was just, a week ago named that he was going to be as part of this class for the Naismith Hall of Fame. So, hey, let's not embarrass Doc. Let's let him step away on his own terms, give him a role within the front office where he has an advisory role, which apparently he had some sort of unofficial advisory role before he became the head coach, and let him continue there. So if he's going to continue to work for the Bucks, it makes sense to me that he would want to try to, nip this in the bud the best he can.
I just feel like it's very obvious that there is drama surrounding this organization. And you can decide out there as a fan, as a loyal listener, whatever, who you want to pin the blame on. For me, it's always more complicated than that. For me, it's never one person, one side, one thing that leads to this level of dysfunction, this level of disconnect. It's a bunch of little things, right? And maybe they go unspoken, or maybe you kind of swallow it and you just are like, we'll just deal with it. And then eventually it sort of spills over. And I think that at the end of the season, when Giannis wanted to play, and we heard about the Nike thing, right? We heard about the bonus with Nike and how that likely contributed to Giannis's insistence about being out there on the floor, in addition to wanting to play with his brother, because I know that that's been thrown out there as well. It just feels as though that was where it came to a head, was everything else could sort of be kept behind closed doors. Everything else could sort of be like grumble, but the public didn't necessarily need to know all the nuance, all the details. But when he wanted to play and they said, no, you're not healthy, because that's been the company line.
Yep.
Right? It is not, we're trying to get a better draft pick. Oh, we're trying to punish him for no, it's always been, he is not healthy enough to play. That's when this whole thing, it seems like, came to a head. And now we're hearing these rumbles, you're hearing these reports, you're hearing these rumors of some of the other things that have taken place along the way.
So how surprised were you then when you found out, when the Bucks injury report came out yesterday for their game tonight, which is going to be the last home game of the season, last chance for potentially Giannis in a Bucks uniform, last chance to potentially play with his brothers, because if Giannis moves on, who knows what happens to Thanasis, to Alex, and their futures in the league. Were you surprised to see that Giannis was indeed listed as out?
Very surprised. because I think John Horst had been on the record. Our friend Eric Name had talked to him, and it made it seem like organizationally, he said, we care about what Giannis thinks. And so if you read through that, and again, you push it through your own prism, you push it through your own perspective, of course, I sort of walked away from those comments as saying, oh, they're going to give him the opportunity to go out there on the floor. They're going to cross their fingers and hope he doesn't get hurt, but they're going to give him the opportunity to do this sort of maybe swan song and have, like I said, a 35-point night, a 40-point night, whatever it is that Giannis wanted to do and play with his brothers. I was shocked then. It wasn't even that long after. I think we saw the article in the 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
It was in the 5 o'clock hour that the Bucks have officially ruled Giannis out for Friday night's matchup against the Nets, Milwaukee's final home game of the season. So that, to me, Gabe, it was like, oh, man, I must have read it wrong. Or because I felt like the comments led me to believe they were going to figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah, so here are the comments made to the media from Tuesday that Eric Name had brought up, part of an article that he released yesterday on The Athletic. Bucks general manager John Horst updated us on Giannis' health status on Tuesday. Here was his response when asked how much Giannis' desire to play with his brother, Alex Thanasis, played into their decision-making on his availability. Quote, "It's a good question. I care because the partnership and everything that we've done together, and I hope we continue to do together everything he's done for me personally. Organizationally, we care what Giannis thinks, of course. And I hope he cares what we think and what we feel, but you have to make tough decisions in tough circumstances. And the lens, again, is to make the best professional judgment that we can that's best for him and us regarding his health. That is ruling everything. That's really all we care about. None of the other stuff. There's no gamesmanship here. There's no angling. We just care about what's doing right for him and for us from a health perspective."
And again, Giannis has said repeatedly now, he is healthy enough to play. He wants to play. He can play. Sounds like the Bucks don't think so.
But this is where you kind of get into the gray area, and I hope the league sees it this way. I guess I'm just maybe still a little nervous about the Bucks being somehow the only team, that feels like has been hit with tampering charges from those Bojan, rumors years ago at this point that Woj got a little ahead of when he was still with ESPN. But there's healthy enough to play in like a playoff game, and then there's healthy enough to play in a game that doesn't matter, right? Like
when Dame played last year in the
Yes!
playoffs. Like he was not regular season throwaway game healthy, but he was playoff healthy.
But he's playoff healthy. And yeah, Giannis may feels like he can play, but in the playoffs, you're willing to risk further injury because it's the playoffs. This is what everybody plays for. When there's nothing left, sure, you might feel good enough to play, but I think the Bucks, I think there can be a gray area where Giannis can feel good enough to play, but the Bucks are looking at whatever scans or the trainers are going through whatever workouts with him and going, yeah, there's still a high risk of injury here, and it's not worth taking that risk.
I will actually take it one step further because I thought you were going to say that because this is a quote-unquote meaningless game, other than the meaning that Giannis has obviously put on it, that there's concern that he would play at a different speed, or because, again, this team is not in the mix, there's nothing that they're playing for, that dynamic might somehow affect how he would play. The problem is that we've seen from Giannis, it doesn't matter if they are leading the Eastern Conference or if they're the worst team in the Eastern Conference, Giannis plays the same way. And so I think you have to, when considering all of this, and you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you have to consider that information. You have to consider knowing that about Giannis when you make the decision. Could you ask him to go out there, hey man, we're going to let you play, but we need you to play at 50%, right? We need you to make sure that you don't get hurt.
That doesn't exist.
Right, it does not compute, right? He would never agree to that. He doesn't even know what that looks like. And I think that's part of the reason why the Bucks, even though Giannis is probably on the healthy spectrum, they say, yeah, but he's going to go all out. He's going to go 100 miles an hour. And if he does go 100 miles an hour, we don't want to risk him hurting himself to go out there and play this meaningless game.
How many times this year did Giannis feel healthy, good enough to play, and then he went out there and further injured himself? I think about the calf twice. He tweaked the calf in the second time he hurt the calf. He tweaked it earlier in the game and then, I'm still good enough to play through it. And then he hurt it so bad that he had to be out for 6 weeks, right? So Giannis feeling good enough to play and actually being healthy those are two different things. Those are two way different things. And I think that's what the Bucks can, however this investigation turns out, I think that's that's what they can kind of rely upon, is that there is a difference between being able to play and actually being healthy.
Justin weighing in on the Carbless Talking text line. He says it's insane not to let him play tonight. He doesn't even get a send-off, ? Let him get 10 to 15 minutes even. This is ridiculous. 800-990-3776. The Bucks have said that Giannis Antetokounmpo will not play tonight against the Nets, Milwaukee's final home game of the season. Your thoughts? 800-990-3776. We'll take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on right after this.
Hey, guys, remember the way you felt when you were 25? Those early morning workouts, they were a breeze. You had the drive that kicked in way before that first cup of coffee. Now, fast forward to today. Do you feel like you're losing that edge, or maybe you've lost that edge? Might not be your age. That's what I thought. No, it turns out for me, and it could be for you, it could be low testosterone. That's where Mentality comes in. They start with a comprehensive 100-point blood panel to help get to the bottom of what's really going on. Then they build a personalized treatment plan using testosterone replacement therapy and targeted peptide therapy to help restore your energy, focus, and drive. In fact, 94% of men report renewed energy and focus within 60 days. And just so you know, this isn't some new, trendy, off-the-shelf solution of the month. Mentality about real medicine. And while they can't actually make you feel like you're 25 again, Mentality can get you back to feeling like the guy that you used to be. I swear by him. I have talked to Mentality about Mentality with my friends, and I love talking about them with you. So schedule your appointment today. Mentality is at lowtusa.com. Schedule your first appointment with Mentality. lowtusa.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN. On this show, it's always football season.
I'm not overly concerned because it seems as if Green Bay's not overly concerned.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Everybody over there feels like this team was there. We got short-circuited with injuries. We have the right staff, we have the right people, and we have the right players. We just need to stay healthy, and we'll be champions.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform, not just exist. Your storytelling would inspire, not fall flat. Your integrated campaigns would create impact, not excuses. There'd be no refreshing dashboards, no waiting on a report to explain what happened. It's time to generate quality leads and turn them into customers. Let's make it happen with Saturn Lounge, your marketing partner for clear, measurable results. Visit us today at SaturnLounge.com. When marketing works, it shows.
This summer, the backyard party starts with Carbless. Celebrate America's 250th birthday with the all-new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety Pack, featuring 4 nostalgic flavors: strawberry, cherry, grape, and apple. It's refreshing, it's bold, it's packed with classic summer flavor, and it's ready to go wherever the party takes you. From barbecues to bonfires, make every get-together a little more blissful with the new Americana Backyard Bliss 8-pack from Carbless. Pick up your brand new variety pack at your local retailer or go to drinkcarbless.com to find it near you.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at GreatMidwestBank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Look, it's Jake from our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $1498 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
You've said it before. This will only take a second. Just a quick glance. A fast reply. But on the road, seconds don't wait for you. They decide everything. Who stops, who doesn't, who makes it home. So next time your phone lights up, ask yourself, is this distraction worth a ticket or even a life? Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy.
Okay.
The Home Depot Pro.
Can you get me out
it's
by
about
8:20?
time.
Okay, yeah.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What do we do? Where do we go from here?
We've talked about insulation, we've talked about fantasy camp, and now we've talked about Burning Man. We've hit for the cycle in the first 5 minutes of the show.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Don't mind me just crushing a pimento cheese sandwich during the break.
How was it?
Fantastic. Fantastic. So good. Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walkout grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating three. You know that feeling, and there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. The Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in their supreme space. Dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxury seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More information available online. Must be 21 years old to enter the casino. We actually have some news about the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Gabe, what did Governor Evers do yesterday?
So signed a bill, so it just kind of opens the door for the tribes, and it seems like he wants all 11 tribes in Wisconsin to negotiate a deal together to kind of rework the pact that the tribes have with the state of Wisconsin. Because right now, yes, you can legally place sports bets, as we know, at places like Potawatomi, but you can't do it over an app. So this opens the door if all 11 can kind of come up with a singular app of, hey, this is what you can do to bet on sports in Wisconsin, then everybody from those tribes would benefit equally, which I'm willing to bet because there's a lot of money on the line there that these tribes will figure out to be able to spread that wealth across the state, that they're going to come to a deal. Now, the timeline of any of this remains to be seen, but the door is open now for that pathway in the state of Wisconsin.
I would imagine if you're Potawatomi and you've been interested in this for quite some time, that you would have already dotted the I's, crossed the T's, had the conversations with all of the tribes statewide to make sure that if this got pushed through, they would all be the recipients of some type of like revenue sharing, if you will. I don't think you let it get to Governor Evers' desk unless you've had those conversations. And so my guess is this actually goes through rather quickly because they will have taken those measures and had those conversations already. We got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to, including Jeff Levering at the top of the hour. Your Milwaukee Brewers right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Some delays along southbound 4394 because of a crash that happened just past Chase Avenue. Really just a squad left over there, and that's enough of a distraction to make for those delays coming off the high-rise bridge. On the northbound side, we got backups coming out of the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Westbound 894, heavy out of the Mitchell, pretty much all the way past 68th Street. And eastbound 94, slowing down from just before Mitchell Boulevard to 35th, westbound from about 30th to Hawley Road. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early sprinkles, then becoming partly cloudy, a high of 47 at the lake, 53 inland tonight. Mostly clear, a low of 35. Weather's brought to you by Lakeland Resort. Spring is here. Escape to Lakeland Resort in the Geneva Lakes region. Enjoy lakeside dining, golf, spa, and more. Plan your getaway at lakelandresort.com. Everything's better at the lake. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Make your next meal Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Right now, get a crispy chicken sandwich, regular or pepper jacked, for just $3.99. Feeding the crew? Grab an 8-piece bone-in fried chicken for only $9.99. And don't forget to dip it in Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken sauce. Short on time? Order ahead with the Quick Rewards app and make it fast. Stop in today for your No Ordinary Chicken. Crunch outside, tender inside. Only at Quick Trip.
Craig Carmison on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Saturn Lounge, your partner for marketing strategy, creative content, and winning campaigns. From websites to video and everything marketing, visit SaturnLounge.com to tell the world your story. We are the home for all your Bucks coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time to hear from the voice of the Brewers.
Fly ball to deep right. It is back. Soto back. Out of here.
Jeff Levering is brought to you by the Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Go where the pros go to fix all your back pain. Visit them today at neurospine.com.
Appreciate a little Huey Lewis in the news to bring me in today. Love that. Thank you. And I love Huey Lewis in the news, so I'm all about it.
Jeff Levering on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I had to switch out the hat.
Nice lid, Jen.
I had to put on the new City Connect. I love the Fielding Barrel Man. As soon as I saw it on the jersey, I was like, that's the hat I'm getting. Now, as you can see, I have not yet pulled off all the stickers. It was 30 seconds ago that I pulled out the cardboard that was in the hat. So we'll get there. We'll get there, Jeff. It's been an exciting start to the season for your Milwaukee Brewers. And, of course, yesterday, the City Connect uniforms were revealed. What was your take on it? I thought they put a ton of thought into it, from the colors to the sunset to the Wisco. Your reaction?
I really like what they did with it. And I know you can't please everybody. That's just the way the world works. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be paving a street, you're not going to make somebody happy. So for me, I think they did a great job with it. I love the new color scheme. I like the W with the state logo on the cap. The cap that you're wearing is great. That looks like a 6'3" ground out in my mind with Barrelman. I love that they continued the grill logo, but they turned it into a bobber. I thought that was a really cool touch. And then the small little detail that I really liked was forward. Like, that's the state motto, and it's on the back of everybody's jersey. I think that's a really cool thing, right on everybody's spinal column. So really, really nice touch for everybody. I'm excited to see them all weekend long.
Yeah, look, I just love that they learned lessons from the last time, because the last time they came out with the Brew Crew ones that they've been wearing the last couple of years, they had the grill logo that you mentioned, Jeff, and everyone went, I want that on a hat. And they went, oh, that is kind of cool. And then you found it on hats everywhere. So the patches, whether it was, that, like you said, continuing the grill theme but making into a bobber, Fielding Barrel Man, they seem to have learned that the patches are also something that the fans are into.
Yeah, totally. And I like the fact that they cheated the system and made it more of a state thing than a City Connect thing. It wasn't just Milwaukee. It was, hey, the entire state of Wisconsin. There's so much pride. As Vinny likes to say, Team Cheese. So I'm all Team Cheese. I'm wearing my Pine River Cheese hat right now, as a matter of fact.
Attaboy.
So, I mean, it's all about just getting everybody together. It's summertime. The weather finally started to feel great. We were in Boston. It was 30 degrees the last game that we played there on Wednesday. It was cold.
Guys look miserable, by the way.
It was not fun. It was not.
Yeah, even though the sun was, it was like one of those days where like the sun was out, but it was still somehow just chilly.
It was so deceiving. It was so deceiving. So, and when we landed, it was 70 degrees in Milwaukee. So it's like, yeah, this is great. It usually goes the other way. So it was really nice to be back. I'm happy to be back. And everybody's happy to be back this weekend and for a nice long homestand.
Jeff Levering joining us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. All right, at 8 and 4, ESPN put out its power rankings for the week. Milwaukee is ranked third right now in the power rankings. What has stood out to you in this early stretch of the season? What do you think has been their identity over these first few series?
Still really good bullpen work. I think that it's been this case for a while, Jen, but just how everybody else steps up. Like Bryce Terang's out for a couple days, so David Hamilton steps up and gets on base a ton. The Brewers have already used 7 different starting pitchers and have played 12 games. That's just who they are. They used 17 a year ago to cover 162 games plus the playoffs, with openers. So that's not out of the realm yet. Brewers have already used an opener in Logan Henderson in game 2 of a doubleheader. They took Brandon Sproat out of this turn of the rotation. He's going to be available out of the bullpen this weekend. So I just think that this team has been so resilient. It's still so darn early. But I do feel like this team continues to have the identity of people are thinking that we're not as good as we really are. So let's wear it as a badge of honor and kick the crap out of everybody.
Now, you mentioned the bullpen. What's the concern level for Jared Koenig?
I mean, anytime that it comes to an elbow, you raise your ears a little. But I do think that the Brewers have enough depth in that bullpen to cover some of those innings. Now, you miss what he's been able to do, and nobody would have expected anything 3 years ago from Jared Koenig. He was a non-roster invite. He makes the team. He's been unbelievable in the bullpen for the last 3 years. But if you're going to have something like that happen, have it happen right now, and you get it out of the way. I mean, you see it all over the league, right? Where you take a couple of weeks off, you take a month off, you come back and you're fresh. Your innings are limited. His innings were going to be limited over the course of the season anyway. Take care of it now. The Brewers have the depth to cover it for the time being.
Jeff, give us the insight on Christian Yelich. Obviously, we love him here in Milwaukee. We know what a hugely valuable part of the roster he is year in and year out. And yet it feels like he has found something this spring. What are you seeing as the biggest difference between the Christian Yelich we have seen early in 2026?
It's very similar to what it was last year. I thought you were going to ask me what was on his face during the City Connect photo shoot.
Well, that is another question. Why did they have him do a workout before they decided to throw the jersey on him?
He had a good glisten going. Hey, listen, if I'm ever doing a photo shoot, you bet your tail that I'm going to be doing push-ups or I'm doing whatever.
Well, you don't have to do all that. We'll just spritz you with some water, man. I mean,
that's fine. Well, it was just like he just jumped out of the lake and threw on the jersey and boom, it's awesome. So maybe that's the key to his success is he did the photo shoot before the start of the season and he took a dip in the magic waters. But for me, I just think that he is so secure in who he is as a player now. I think that after he signed that big deal in 2020, coming off of an injury, first and foremost with the kneecap after 2019, there was a lot of pressure on him. Plus, it was weird times with COVID and like all the other stuff that was going along. He put a ton of pressure on himself. And I think he is so confident with who he is right now as a player, as a human being, as a leader in that clubhouse, that his performance is dictating that. Right. And because he is comfortable, it's not like, okay, well, see ball, hit ball. I'm a young player and I can do this. I'm trusting myself and I can do whatever I want to do on this field. I just need to go out and do it and believe that I can do it.
I know the strikeouts are high for Garrett Mitchell, but he was somebody coming into the season that I think everybody kind of identified like, okay, we know this guy has the potential. Can he cash in? I know it's only 10 games in, but what he's been able to do, and if he can solidify that center field spot, Jeff, I feel that just really helps the lineup come together. What have you liked out of what you've seen out of Garrett through the first 10 games for him?
Availability. That's number one. I mean, he's been on the field, and that's a key. And he's driving in runs. He's among the major league leaders in RBIs. Who would have said that? Now, granted, he had a 5 RBI game in Kansas City, and I think 8 in that series alone, which helps you out early on in the season. But the Brewers have needed him. The Brewers have seriously needed, with no Jackson Chourio, they have needed somebody to step up in the outfield, and it's been Garrett Mitchell. And he's played great defense. He's run balls down. And yeah, the strikeouts are high, but they've always been high with Garrett. So I think that just him being available and having some confidence in year number 5 in the big leagues. This is his bit of 5th year in the big leagues, and he's just eclipsed 150 total games played. He came into the year with 141 games played in his career. He's just over 150. That's not even full season. So just the fact that he's on the field and performing exceptionally well right now, take it and run with it. He's sitting right in the middle of the lineup for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, if you had to guess, you think the Brewers have offered something, put something in front of Terang, or You think they recognize that, he's an ascending star in this league and likely they're going to be priced out?
I bet that they have approached Bryce's team multiple times over multiple years. Not just this offseason, not just after he won the Platinum Glove, probably before that. I'm sure that there have been those conversations. I don't know if they've priced themselves out. I think he loves playing in Milwaukee. I think he loves being here. He loves being a part of what this group has built. I think he loves the fact that he was a first round pick and he's been homegrown. But he's doing his due diligence. I get that. I totally get that. But he is going to be very expensive. The way that he plays the game, he is going to be very expensive for a very good reason, because he is elite.
Yeah, I mean, I know people in Brewers want to get ahead of everybody, and they signed Cooper Pratt to that long-term deal, so that makes you think about some of these other guys. But again, if they offered these contracts, I'm willing to bet that they went to William at one point. I'm willing to bet that they went to Miz at one point, Terang. Sure. But it takes two sides in order for a deal like that to get done.
Yeah, exactly. And not everybody is. Look at what the Braves did. The Braves went and signed a bunch of their young guys to long-term contracts before arbitration availability, and a lot of those guys have been hurt. You saw the Padres do this a little with some of their free agents and lock those guys up into 10-year deals, 7-8-year deals. Some teams are able to do that with young stars, and the Brewers need to get ahead of it. I'm glad they did it with Jackson Chourio. I'm glad they did it with Cooper Pratt. It's commitment to both the organization and from the player. But it does take two to tango, so to speak. So hopefully they can get something done, and hopefully Bryce Terang is a Brewer forever, and he's wearing that Wisco hat that Jen's rocking right now for a long time. But we'll see. I'm just enjoying watching him right now.
When we're talking about contracts, what about Sal Frelick? Is that a guy you think that they have approached? Is that a guy you think that could be long for the Brewers uniform?
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. Again, he is, if you're looking at a guy that is the prototype for the way that the Brewers want to play the game, that's the guy, right? Murph doesn't allow Sal to take the field until his uniform is dirty. Like he will go up and grab dirt and throw it on Sal and say, "Okay, now you're ready to play." Like that's how it works, and that's how he wants to play. If there is an at bat that doesn't last at least 7 pitches in a game from Sal Frelick, like something's wrong, because that's just the way that he plays. If you're going to try and lock somebody up, that definitely is the kind of guy that you want to lock up.
What have you loved out of Miz so far through 3 starts? 28 strikeouts. He lost command certainly the other night in Boston, but still had 10 strikeouts. What have you seen in the first 3 starts this year versus what he put out there last year?
He's developing, and he's repeating his delivery a lot better, Gabe. And that's what I like to see. Last year, he would get really, and Vinny said it great on the television broadcast the other night when he was pitching. When he's going north and south, he is locked in. When he starts falling off the side of the mound and getting out of his mechanics, that's when everything's going wayward. That's what happened when he threw 12 out of 13 pitches out of the zone. So if he continues to go north-south, up and down the mound, he's going to be just fine. But his development, his ability to throw strikes, his ability to throw strikes with the off-speed stuff, and continue to pump fastballs by people. He was still 97, 98 miles an hour in that 6th inning when he came out, when things were going sideways in Boston. I still think that he has room to grow. He just turned 24 years old. He's still a spring chicken. He's going to be fine. Like, he's even got the chicken wings flying all over the place too, with his body and his limbs. I love watching him in his youthful energy. But he's going to have a great year. He's really going to have a great year, and we're seeing it through the first 3 starts.
Jacob Mizorowski, who still leads the major leagues in strikeouts at 28. Brewers taking on the Nationals tonight. Jeff Levering will be there. Jeff, we appreciate you taking some time this morning, hanging out with us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and we look forward to your call.
Appreciate you, and thanks for having me on Friday. I was a little under the weather on Tuesday, so thank you so much.
That's what happened.
Appreciate
then.
You.
Telepathically, you passed it on to me, because now I've been like the Walking Dead the last 48 hours.
Hopefully you've been able to keep food down. That's all I'm saying, because I kept nothing down for 24 hours. I was in the hospital for a night. So
my goodness. Well, I'm so glad that you're better.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't miss. Those were the first time I've ever missed games in 20 years of broadcasting. In my life.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. A night in the hospital in Kansas City, it helped.
Yeah. I assumed, again, not to hear you, because, again, if you're not on television, you're on radio. If you're not on radio, you're probably doing a game somewhere else. I was shocked to hear, and then, okay, he's feeling under the weather. I didn't realize it required a hospital stay.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. I still have bruises on my IV port. It was fun.
Are we thinking food poisoning?
Yeah, really nasty stomach bug is what it was. I would love to say that there was something else but it was just northbound, which was good. So it wasn't a dual situation.
First time.
It's the first time I've ever heard it described that way. But again, this is why this man does play-by-play.
Perfect. Paint
just knows how to describe things.
Absolutely. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you, Jeff. Have a great one. We'll talk to you again soon.
Take care, guys.
See you, Jeff.
I mean, I love it. Northbound versus southbound. I think we all understand what we're talking about here, right?
And when it's northbound and southbound, then you're in real trouble.
That's a bad situation.
You're in real trouble.
Bad situation. All right, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on after this. I want to tell you guys about my friends over at Professional Construction, Inc. So we have to redo our master bath. Don't want to, but we have to because we have a leak and there's black mold. So we got a crew that's coming in. They're going to take out all the subflooring. And we called our friends at PCI. Why? Because they have this new thing where they do these virtual renderings of what your room can look like. So absolutely, tell us what this master bath can look like if we go ahead and retile the whole thing, if we refloor the whole thing, if we put new vanities in, and they can do the same for you. ProfessionalConstructionInc.com is the website. Go over there, check out what they have to offer, and tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Still seeing some backups westbound 94 from about 30th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. The eastbound side's backed up through the stadium to 35th Street. Northbound 41 slowing down through North Avenue to Burleigh. Also on southbound 41, we're seeing some delays just past the county line there. There's some broken down vehicles through that area as well, kind of helping out with this. We've got basically the construction zone up in that neck of the woods as well, affecting your ride. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early sprinkles, then becoming partly cloudy, a high of 47 at the lake, 53 inland tonight. Mostly clear, a low of 35. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
The Run for the Roses is coming to St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join us Saturday, May 2nd for the Kentucky Derby Day in partnership with Woodford Reserve. Watch the race live, sip on specialty cocktails including the classic mint julep, and dress to impress. Best hat and best dress contests are on the card. Admission is free, or you can upgrade to VIP for $75 for exclusive food stations and 2 complimentary cocktails. Visit stkatearts.com to RSVP or grab your tickets at stkatearts.com.
Spring has sprung, and we're opening the door to savings all April long. Mike Wood here from Callan. Right now, get $250 off each installed entry door, $150 off storm doors, and $100 off interior doors. But don't wait. This limited time offer ends April 30th. From boosting curb appeal outside or delivering a modern feel inside, our doors are built to fit your home. And with smart money options, your next project is more affordable than ever. Schedule your consultation today. Visit callcallan.com and click the green button. Callan. Design, build, live.
Get ready to sip into summer with the new Carbless Americana Backyard Bliss Variety 8-pack. 4 nostalgic flavors, strawberry, cherry, grape, and apple, all packed up and ready to celebrate America's 250th birthday. It's backyard barbecues, fireworks, lawn games, and the classic summer flavor in every can. This season, bring the party, bring the nostalgia, and bring the bliss with the new Americana Backyard Bliss 8-pack from Carbless. Pick up your brand new variety pack at your local retailer or go to drinkcarbless.com to find it near you.
Put Brewers weekends back on your schedule when the Crew take on the Nationals April 10th through the 12th. Collect a new Mish trading card bobblehead for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 11th, courtesy of Toyota. Then reserve Sunday for a full day of family fun. Kids can run the bases, get autographs, and the first 5,000 kids get a Brewers wiffle ball set, courtesy of Joy. Plus, it's a kids cheer free Sunday. Grab your seat at brewers.com/tickets.
Hey, Tom, I just really can't get my kids off their phones lately. What's your secret, man?
I told you last time, go to precisionsportsonline.com and buy a hoop. And while you're there, include their court line painting. You'll thank me later. precisionsportsonline.com. That's precisionsportsonline.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
On a day-to-day basis, are we more good or more meh?
Why do you want to drag me in with what you and Chewy do?
Are you trying to act like you bring us up? You elevate?
Unequivocally.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Being in the sports space, we certainly understand how important sports are to the ecosystem. Is it the end-all, be-all? Of course not. We recognize that. But every year, we talk either humorously about how places like High Point, places like Clemson, places like Indiana benefit, I'm talking about the universities now, from successful sports teams, right? High Point makes a run in the NCAA tournament. All of a sudden, applications to High Point go through the roof. Indiana wins the national championship. All of a sudden, everybody in the Midwest wants to go to Indiana, right? Because people want to be a part of winning programs. It seems as though here in Wisconsin, they have recognized that as well. Because yesterday, Gabe, what were the details of the other thing that Governor Evers signed?
So it's basically a new policy that had bipartisan support, diving into the world of politics, but seemed like it was supported, across the board by state representatives. And $14.6 million is now going to be allocated of state funds to the UW-Madison Athletic Department to help cover what they're calling debt services. And basically what this does is it opens up money for them to take some of that $14.6 million and allocate it towards NIL stuff, right? Paying athletes. And I just don't know how I feel about my tax dollars now being allocated it's indirectly, although it's pretty close to directly. It's not that far of a jump of paying athletes. That feels like something you should be able to figure out on your own as an athletic department. And, I'm curious of other public universities that have done this, because that would be an avenue for public universities to gain an advantage over private institutions. If they could get money like this that helps them free up money to go pay athletes, that would be an advantage that they would have over private institutions. I just don't. Something just feels a little off about, okay, so now my tax dollars are going to pay the quarterback at the University of Wisconsin? That's something you guys should be able to figure out on your own, no?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, the $14.6 million is for UW-Madison, but they are also giving an additional $200,000 to UW-Milwaukee and UW-Green Bay. So it is at least a couple other schools in the UW system. I don't know how you justify the wide gap between those numbers. That's outrageous.
We'll be hearing from Gottlieb.
Can you?
We'll be hearing from him on that.
It's like if you died and you had a will and you left $14.6 million to one kid. And then 200,000
to your other two kids.
200,000 to the other two kids.
Look, and I understand they're not high-level Division I, and they don't have football at GB in Milwaukee, but like $200K? Come on. We couldn't at least get $500,000 for those schools. And that's wherein lies, okay, so now it's just going to be a, direct advantage for them over some of the other in-state institutions. I don't know if that's the best usage of state funds, for the University of Wisconsin.
They are saying that it is to pay student athletes, that it is to pay athletes.
Well, it's to free up money so they can, yes.
Yes, because again, yes, they cannot directly use that money to pay the athletes, but the point is they can use that money for I think maintenance was the buzzword.
Maintenance,
that was
debt services, things like that.
Debt services, because they're using their other money to pay athletes. Do you agree, though, that... Because I think one of the statements made yesterday is basically that these sports programs are a huge lifeline or a huge recognizable element when it comes to a program's success or a state's success. And like they basically are saying, this is a vein here, man. We need to make sure that this vein stays open.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm willing to bet that the applications for the University of Wisconsin were high in the 90s when Barry was taking them and winning Rose Bowls, right? I'm guessing in 98, 99, I'm guessing that started to uptick. And the reason why I know that is because I had friends in the early 2000s that were then trying to apply to the University of Wisconsin, and it was incredibly more competitive than maybe it was, 3 or 4 years earlier than that, because the football program was good. And that is important to a lot of kids where, yes, they want a good education, which obviously Madison will provide, but they also want good experiences. And if the football team is good, the basketball team is good, those are shared experiences that you can have with your fellow classmates at those universities. So, yeah, I think it's a huge part, especially as popular as football is. But I guess I also take a look at the way they've played football at Wisconsin the last few years, and I don't know if this $14.6 million is going to help them.
I guess it couldn't hurt. I guess what I look at is you're taking it statewide. And I know that it is the only big D1 program in the state, but you're telling me on the margins, on the fringes, peripherally, there aren't people who support other universities? There are people who support... I went to Marquette.
Yeah.
Which, again, as you mentioned, is a private institution as opposed to public like UW. But what if you live in the southwestern corner? Are you an Iowa fan? If you live closer to the state line, are you a Minnesota fan? And now you're paying for Wisconsin to have a leg up on the teams that you actually care about? Or again, even simpler, you could be living anywhere in the state of Wisconsin, having gone to another one of the Big Ten programs, right? Let's say you went to Illinois and you live north of the border. You live in Wisconsin. Well, I want my money to go to Illinois to support their programs, but now my tax dollars are going to support Wisconsin. That's where I feel like it gets complicated.
Yeah, and look, again, good on them for being able to do it. And again, it seemed like the process, no matter where you go in any state, nationally, it seems politically it's really hard to get anything done these days. So this seemed to get done pretty easily. So good on the University of Wisconsin for being able to get this done because they have had challenges. It's no secret that they've had challenges trying to raise and get the money that other institutions have had. I mean, we famously talked about the $30 million that Indiana has, that they got in a big old check from Mark Cuban. And Wisconsin hasn't been able to do that. So good on them for being able to figure out a way to indirectly help fund their athletic programs. I just, in an era where, again, the money's good right now in the state, but what if that money starts to get a little tight? Is funneling $15 million for athletics at UW the best way to spend taxpayer money? I don't know how I feel about that in the long run.
Well, and the thing is of course, there are other things that states have to worry about, mainly infrastructure, and you want to make sure that obviously is being taken care of. But we live in Wisconsin. We know that they fix our roads all the time.
Do they?
Perennially.
Do they?
Annually.
Or are they just
regularly?
Because it's going on. 94, seriously. 94, when I first moved here, they were working on 94. 94 was done for what? 18 months before they went, you know what, guys? Let's start working on 94 again.
Well, by the time they finish the construction, they're like, well, now there's all this new technology, and we need to update the infrastructure because it takes so long.
And then they have to go back to the beginning. Like the whole, God, 94 is just permanently under construction. I hate it. I hate it.
If Wisconsin's going to do this, you should be able to know which player your money's going to.
Or which program. Again, as somebody mentions on the Carbless Talking text line, it is not just football. It goes to all sports.
Because then you could call yourself a donor.
So, like, when you go, when you like donate to that the ASPCA, you know, like, hey, your money can help this dog survive.
Right.
Like, you get a picture of the dog, you know,
like
what
when
dog you're supporting. That's what you
buy
want.
A star, you buy like a piece of land in Ireland.
I actually don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah,
now that you've said it, Will,
am I paying for the long snapper or am I paying for the quarterback?
You know what?
Let me know. Give it to me straight.
I'm starting to come around on the idea now, Will. If I know who I'm supporting, maybe I'm supporting the fourth golfer on the women's team. I don't know. Like,
get a jersey, make it a whole thing.
No, specifically who I'm supporting. Maybe then I would be more into it.
Dave in the 608 weighing in, he says, so much wrong with the state using tax money for NIL, and there's no justification for not publicly sharing players' NIL deal salaries. Professors and every other state employee's salaries are made public. This all makes the college sports problem bigger, not better. It's good taxpayer money thrown at a really bad problem. That from Dave in the 608. Look, I think there's going to be pushback. And if we're being honest, the bill narrowly passed the Wisconsin Senate 17-16. So obviously there were detractors, but it has been pushed through. I just wonder how much people at the personal level are going to be able to say, I actually don't want my tax money going towards that. I actually have other things that I think are priorities. Part of being a citizen is you let your government make those decisions, right?
Yeah, but if enough people push back, if it was that close of a vote, I mean, to repeal it wouldn't be that difficult. Right? Like if enough people push back and let their assemblymen, state senators know, hey, we're not fans of this, I'm guessing it could go away.
We got to get to Craig Harmison, but let me ask you a practical question about that. How many years you give it? 3 years? I mean, again, if all of a sudden they're taking your taxpayer dollars and the goal is to improve the sports program so that they can be relevant, so you can have that around the sports teams.
Let me ask you a question on top of a question. What if the football program continues to stink?
That's what I'm saying.
But if the football program is good, do you think they get as many complaints?
No, I don't. But I'm saying if after 3 years they're still terrible, then I think you will see people go.
I think people are going to say, I don't want my tax dollars going towards this.
Because clearly it didn't make a difference.
So the pressure, I guess, maybe gets upped on the athletic department to make sure that these marquee programs continue to perform at an acceptable level.
Hunter weighing in on the Cardinals Talking text line. Does that mean UW is going to play Sarah McLachlan ads for NIL recruitment now? It's a deep cut, but it's a good one. I'm right there with you.
It's one of Will's best ideas. He's had a lot of really good ideas. It's one of my favorite ideas.
I expect to see a short on Instagram within the next couple hours. Take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Craig Karmazin coming up next.
Let me tell you about our good friends at Events by Design, because you can boost culture with captivating corporate events like appreciation parties, brand activations, and more, because the creative team at Events by Design truly enjoys the work that they do. Maybe you saw some of the social posts from Thanalysis Live a couple of weeks ago. Guess who helped with a lot of those sets that were out there? Events by Design. They can help you too. For over 25 years, Events by Design has helped companies execute successful events. Just search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Little trouble on eastbound 94. Right at the ramp from Mitchell Boulevard. Looks like the right lane is blocked with a crash. So watch out for that on I-94. We got backups coming in from Hawley Road past that all the way to 35th Street. On the westbound side, we've got backups from 35th all the way to Hawley Road. Northbound 41, watch for delays from Mayfair Road all the way to Burleigh. 43 north and southbound has been pretty quiet. The 4394 leg has also been pretty quiet now that accident around Beecher has been cleared. Westbound on 894, patchy delays between Loomis and 68th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Early sprinkles, then becoming partly cloudy, a high of 47 at the lake, 53 inland tonight. Mostly clear, a low of 35. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
If you're responsible for how money moves through your business, you won't want to miss this. Fifth Third Bank invites business owners, CFOs, controllers, and finance leaders to join us Tuesday, April 28th at St. Kate for a special event focused on the future of automated payables, integrated receivables, and modern cash management. Hear from industry experts on the latest technology, trends, and strategies, helping businesses improve efficiency, strengthen controls, and accelerate cash flow. Reserve your spot today by emailing rsvpmilwaukee@53.com. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Bundling your home and auto with Progressive could help you save without sacrificing quality. It's the smart thing to do. And as a hockey fan, you always know the smart thing to do.
Shoot the puck!
And you let the players know it.
Shoot the puck!
All game.
Shoot it! Come on, shoot!
And sometimes even after.
Man, rough game, huh?
Yeah, they should have shot the puck.
So bundle your home and auto with Progressive. It's the smart thing to do. But you already knew that. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Smalls here. Did you know there are many ways to do your taxes with H&R Block? You can go to a local office and get expert help in person, or you can choose virtual tax prep and get expert help without leaving home. Or you can even do them yourself online with live human help standing by. Whatever you choose, you can file with confidence, having H&R Block's 70-plus years of tax expertise in your corner. Switch today and file your way at hrblock.com.
You've said it before. This will only take a second. Just a quick glance. A fast reply. But on the road, seconds don't wait for you. They decide everything. Who stops, who doesn't, who makes it home. So next time your phone lights up, ask yourself, is this distraction worth a ticket or even a life? Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Evan Cohen here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Is it against the law to be a moron or no?
The law.
Not yet.
I texted this to Jen earlier. The law does protect some people from things that are called an attractive nuisance.
On 94.5 ESPN. It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Karmazin.
Has any market been as consistent where they only have one team than Wisconsin? We know Chicago hasn't been.
No.
Fridays with Mo.
Yeah, but until you win a championship, you can't really say that. And they've had one champion.
Chewy, we're going to just create an AI. Or the AI Chewy can just bring up championship. We don't even need Chewy.
They've had one championship.
What, it's going to be put like a hologram over there?
Yeah.
Craig Karmazin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Saturn Lounge, your partner for marketing strategy, creative content, and winning campaigns. From websites to video and everything marketing, visit SaturnLounge.com to tell the world your story.
Craig Karmazin joining us in studio, looking very Masters Bucks-esque with the green jacket. Craig, what do you want to talk about?
I was saying it's 19 years. I think we should be celebrating this.
19 years since what?
Remember when I won the 2007 Masters?
I was not aware. No, because Gabe did the list yesterday. Gabe did the whole list yesterday.
Do you remember Retief Goosen, Rory Sabatini, and me kind of battling down the stretch? Tiger was a little in the mix, and I made the putts I needed to make, and I won this green jacket.
No, I think that was a fever dream. Is what
How
I think
would I
is
have this
happening
green jacket
here.
otherwise?
I mean,
Be honest.
I've got questions about the number of pockets on that green jacket, but I don't know why you have two on that right side there.
Well, you ask Billy Payne, who handed it to me, and Jim Nance.
Well, Billy Payne, here's how I know. Billy Payne wouldn't have been the one to hand it to you. The defending champ is the one who...
No, I mean, but Billy Payne was there.
Well,
right?
yeah, Billy Payne was the president, but the guy who put it on you would have been the defending champ.
Tiger
Which
Phil
that was in 2016 was...
What, 2006?
It was Tiger, and Phil had done it right before that. Phil was there. Yeah, Tiger and
Gabe
Phil
rattled
were there.
off the last 30 winners yesterday. It was
That's what I'm saying.
very
Phil
impressive.
And Tiger were there with me when I won it.
Okay.
I'm saying someone, if there are good listeners and watchers of this station, they will be able to send and I'm not saying they will use any kind of AI or graphic design things, but of me receiving the green jacket with Jim Nantz and with the appropriate golfer who handed it over to me in 2007.
This is how badly Craig doesn't want to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. He's making up a green jacket Masters win in order
Zach
to
Johnson,
avoid it.
By the way, Zach Johnson's up there right now.
Yeah. He's a Masters champ.
What about
year?
He was 07.
That was mine. No. Don't give Zach Johnson my green jacket.
That's very serendipitous that he happened to be on the
He's
screen.
not wearing a green jacket. I'm wearing a
well,
green
no, because
jacket.
he's playing the tournament.
You don't think if Zach Johnson had won a Masters, he would wear a green jacket everywhere, including especially if he went to the Masters?
Because then every other guy, how much medication did I take this morning, Gabe?
Wait, you don't think Zach Johnson would want to wear his green jacket if he had gone to the Masters?
I saw Zach Johnson in his green jacket at the Masters dinner the other night in the picture that they shared.
I let him borrow it. And I had
you guys
to work.
would be about the same size.
I had to work, so I let him attend the dinner.
Yes.
It's a lot of invites are non-transferable. That one, small writing. It doesn't say it's non-transferable. I gave Zach Johnson my invite.
What did you serve for your championship dinner in 2008?
Oh, it was good. yeah.
Stalling.
No, I did an ode to Wisconsin
it was good.
and New Jersey. It was Wisconsin and New Jersey.
What did you serve? It was good.
No, I did pizza. Like it was like Jersey like style, just like New York style pizza with some mac and cheese and some cheese curds.
You can't just co-op New York style pizza for New Jersey. It doesn't work that way.
Yes.
Can you imagine if I was like, I was like, I did pizza. It was deep dish, because Illinois is close to Wisconsin.
I think Fuzzy Zeller may have said something anti-Semitic to me, but I don't remember.
Okay,
I don't think that happened.
That's just taking a shot.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I don't.
That's the most believable part of the entire
I'm
story.
saying I don't remember. I don't think that actually happened. I don't think the Fuzzy Zeller part was real. I think that was like some weird, just like thing that is just in my mind for some reason.
Because Fuzzy may have made a comment or two.
Yeah, that's how I remember. Bucks tonight do have a home game, and it is fan appreciation night. It is a great night to go to Fiserv for, and my daughter and I will be there. We're so excited to go for the last game. She's sad. Like, it's so interesting. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, the drudge. Like, she is so sad to see this season coming to an end, and I get it. Like, the way the team's, like, been playing the last week or two, like, Jericho Sims had a triple-double the other day.
I saw the list, like, Bucks starting centers to ever have triple-doubles. Kareem, Jericho Sims.
Yeah. And Cormac Ryan is playing unbelievably, and, like, there are some fun things from this year, and it's just there's a piece of it that like when you get to know and see this team and some of these guys on the team, like any team, and I think about it with a work, like you build these connections, and then next year the team's going to look totally different, right?
Well, so,
that's like what we all know. So like this is the last time you'll see a lot of these people together and in a Bucks uniform. You'd have to imagine.
But the tricky part about this whole thing is, and it seems like based on Doc's comments, he's not going to be at least the head coach next year because he's talking about his grandkids, wants to spend more time with them. So it's just curious to me of how many of these young guys are trying to audition for the Bucks, or are they auditioning for other spots in the league? Because as you said, who knows what this roster looks like in 2026, 27.
And the best thing that like you just want as a fan is like there's some guys out there playing hard, right? And that's like what we've had at least for generally the last 10 games, give or take one or two games that were some stinkers in there. So the Bucks have no incentive to lose. So when they lose, it's because they're not as good as the other team generally. Obviously, like Bobby Portis is shut down for the year, and certain players are no longer playing because they're injured. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's 10 years and one season that is an absolute stinker within it. And right now, the idea of, oh my God, what comes next? This is going to be so bad. Like every year, this team has found a way to put itself into position to be competitive going into the next year. And I have confidence that we'll do that again going into next year. It's just such an unknown that's why I want to savor every moment of tonight, right? Like we don't know what's going to happen next with Giannis and the team. So I just want to really like savor every moment tonight.
Gabe and I said earlier in the show that we were both surprised, given what was said by John Horst on Tuesday regarding Giannis, that they officially ruled him out yesterday for tonight's game. Were you surprised that Giannis is not going to play tonight?
I was really surprised. Marcus Johnson at the end of the telecast alluded to, hey, maybe we'll see three brothers playing tomorrow. So, like, that's not something he would have said unless he had talked to people, in the organization who gave him some indication that it was a possibility at least. So I'm still, I don't want to compare it because it's like the most tragic situation of the last 5 years, COVID notwithstanding. But when Kobe Bryant, his helicopter crashed, there were days that went by where I was still like, I think he's gonna come out of there. Kobe is just Kobe, and I just couldn't I couldn't come to grips with that. And in a very less consequential, less life and death way, that's kind of how I feel about tonight. Until the game's over, I'm still going to think Giannis might play tonight on Fan Appreciation Night with his two brothers. Just because he's out right now, people have gone from out to then questionable, then to in. So I wouldn't advise anyone to buy tickets based on out. I'm not trying to get people to invest their money, but I'm not giving up hope.
Yeah, they ruled them out yesterday, and they have upgraded players. But yeah, I guess I just don't have. So Doc went on Courtside with Gil Klappa, which you can find on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Go find
Gil
wherever you get
Klappa
podcasts.
breaks more stories than anybody in the business.
Have you heard the Doc comments?
I haven't heard the ones from last night.
Okay, so here is, because Will was also producing that, Will in for Joshy today. Here is what Doc had to say.
And by the way, Doc Rivers has said that it's Will who gets him feeling so comfortable and safe, and that's why he breaks all these stories with Gil.
I do have that effect on people.
Here's what Doc had to say.
I don't want to tell you what we call Shams, but
and Shams folks is a reporter that has been fomenting a lot of speculation about Giannis for months.
Yeah, he's been wrong throughout. He was positive he was going to get traded before the trade deadline. He wrote an article the other day about how dysfunctional everything was, and it's not. It's nowhere near the way he tried to portray this franchise and our team. He even wrote part of the article was about a meeting that was heated, and I'm thinking clearly this guy's not been around the NBA long. You lose a close game that you should have won, and you show film the next day. It's not going to be a rah-rah speech.
Right.
That's what goes on in locker rooms, and to make that look like that's something dysfunctional it's almost unprofessional.
What are your thoughts when you hear Doc talk about the Shams piece that came out earlier this week?
Yeah, I mean, the Shams piece is not fun, right? When you're one of those teams that's there, but I think it's the appropriate piece for Shams to write. He's covered this story from all sides, and practically the Players Association said what they said and got reports from Giannis or someone with him, and to call the Giannis Bucks relationship functional right now based on what's portrayed would not be honest, right? So I think what Shams wrote was completely appropriate. I don't know the accuracy to all of it, and Doc would know that better than I would, but I think Shams had every right, to write that piece. And Doc, as a coach who hasn't had I think his last losing season was when I won my last Masters. Doc,
when you won your last Masters, you won them previously?
You're really even going to deny if that's up for debate, then it's not even worth talking about in this segment. I mean, the second youngest ever won a Masters. Do we not remember? Okay. So I think that this is a situation that Doc Rivers has not been in frequently. I think we look at this roster and we say, hey, 19 games this year. KPJ and Giannis played together. Bucks are the third best NBA team in those 19 games. But we're also not going to say, I don't think anyone would say, that is the only thing that happened this season. So there's dysfunction around any losing team, and it may not be in Doc's mind to the level that article portrayed, but that's what losing is, right? We as a company, we didn't hit our budget last year. We were a losing team. So we had dysfunction that we need to fix. There's friction in our organization that's preventing us as good karma, not the Bucks, that's preventing us from good karma of hitting our goals and having a winning or a championship season. We need to fix that, and we need to own that there's some dysfunction that is the reason why we're not winning in the way we want to win. So I think that is the case for any losing team. And I think, owning a level of dysfunction is fine. But obviously, Doc knows if there's inaccuracies in that, and that's got to be frustrating. We don't have beat reporters who are covering good karma, who are constantly being like, Dan Carlson from ESPN Milwaukee, said in a sales meeting that, we don't have enough endorsements for Jen, Gabe, and Chewy going to break.
I think the pushback on that would be, though, that it was Doc Rivers who said not that long ago, this season hasn't been fun, right? He is on the record as saying that. So he's basically talking about and referring to some of the dysfunction that we are all aware has existed surrounding this organization. So when he has that interview with Klappa, why not just say it? But again,
I think it's because he has such a frustration because he thinks some of the dysfunction were the clouds around the team that were actually caused by Shams, in Doc's opinion, right? So I think that's why for him, it's tough to accept. Wait, here's someone writing an article about our dysfunction when, in Doc's opinions, this guy's reporting and inaccuracies was a component to the dysfunction.
All I'm saying is, in that response, he says there's no dysfunction. And it's like, what? Yeah, certainly there has been dysfunction. Now, he may have been pushing it through the prism of what Shams reported in that specific article, but I think people do want accountability from Doc Rivers as well. They want him to say, I have played a role in some of the dysfunction that has plagued this organization this year.
Yeah, and whether it's dysfunction or not, I think if you're a owner, a part of the front office, a coach, a player, you played a role in this season not being as successful as it would, along with luck and injury and things that are being pointed to. But I think there has to be an extreme ownership taken by every single person in the organization, because if you are going to be a championship team, we are very, very far away today, right? I mean, we see the Oklahoma City Thunder, we see the Spurs, we see the Celtics. The Celtics had the adversity of not having their best player for the entire season, and you see how they responded. But we also know how close we were 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, right? I mean, without Chris Middleton, Game 6 at home against the Celtics. So we're not that far away from where it was. So that's why I am so excited about tonight. I'm so excited about this offseason and what comes next for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Craig, we got to let you go. Thanks for hanging out with us here in studio on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We'll be right back after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Calidora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Remember how you felt when you were 25? Your morning workouts were a breeze. You had a drive that kicked in way before your first cup of coffee. Does it feel like you're losing your edge? You know, it might not be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Mentality, we'll get to the bottom of what's really going on and build a personalized plan using testosterone replacement and peptide therapies to help restore your energy, focus, and drive. Get back to being the guy you used to be. Book your appointment with Mentality at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Josh DiMaggio here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been on this journey since January and have already lost 35 pounds. It's been easy, safe, and their team continued to help me reach my goals. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. And for a limited time, get $200 off the spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. Again, that's 800-433-8909.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
People are
For
optimists.
the past 4 days, my hand has been itching like mad. That means I'm going to get money.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Thanks for hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wildy and Tausch is next on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Still have some delays on 94 eastbound heading through the stadium interchange. We do have a crash right at the ramp from